My dear students, today I am going to discuss the topic sources of ancient Indian history. Myself Jitendra Harijan, Assistant Professor, Department of History. And if you feel good, please do like, share and subscribe for more information and more videos. Now let us see sources of Indian history. Ancient Indian history. Today we will see that from where we came to know about the history, ancient Indian history. एंशियंट इंडियन हिस्ट्री के बारे में हम लोगों को कैसे मालूम चला? कोई तो कुछ न कुछ तो स्रोत होगा, तभी तो हम लोगों को मालूम चला है कि 5000 साल पहले क्या था नहीं था। तो हम उसको एक एक करके देखेंगे कि किस सोर्स से हमको यह मालूम चला कि 5000 साल पहले, 2000 साल पहले, 3000 साल पहले क्या क्या था और क्या क्या नहीं था। तो dear students, here we will study about the different types of sources which the historians has brought before us. Then let us see sources of ancient Indian history is mainly divided into two classes. Number one is literature and there is archaeology. Now let us see in case of literary sources or literature. Number A is what? Religious literature. This includes religious texts of Hindus, Buddhists and Jains. Another you see secular literature. It includes writing by the foreigners, biographical works of great historical persons and historical texts and literary compositions. Another division is that number 2, archaeology. Again, archaeology is also divided into three parts: inscriptions, numismatics or coins and monuments. So let us see one by one. Literature. Literature is a written record in the form of text, essays or descriptions. It has been mainly divided into two parts, that is religious literature and secular literature. Religious literature includes Hindu texts and Hindu texts like Vedas, four Vedas, that is Rig Veda, the Sam Veda, the Yajur Veda and Athar Veda. Rig Veda is the oldest written record of ancient history, and from this Rig Veda it is a civilization is named after ऋग वेदा. ऋग वेदा के नाम पर एक सिविलाइजेशन भी है, वो सिविलाइजेशन है ऋग वैदिक सिविलाइजेशन और it is early Vedic civilization. And after that what happened? Three Vedas were written and these three Vedas became the source of later Vedic civilization. In this way, let us see Brahmanas. Brahmanas, the Satapatas, the Panchavis, the Aitareya, etc. Upanishads, the Kathaka, the Isa, the Svetaswatra, Aryankas, Vedanga. And you see, in case of Smritis, the Manu, the Vishnu, the Narad, the Brihaspati, etc. These are some Smritis. Puranas, the Vishnu, the Vayu, and epics. And in case of epics, the Ramayana and Mahabharata. You have heard what thing we have got in Ramayana and Mahabharata. Ramayana is a story of Ram, Lakshman, Sita, and during that time, उस समय में राम का कहानी से, रामायण से हम लोगों को यही मिलता है कि आर्यंस लोग, आर्यपुत्र जिसे कहा जाता है, उसके बारे में हम लोग रामायण में बहुत कुछ देखे हैं। और महाभारत में जैसे कि बहुत सारा चीज़ हम लोग को मिला। पांचों पांडवों के बारे में, उन लोगों का एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन, पॉलिटिकल हिस्ट्री, बहुत सारा सोशल लाइफ, बहुत सारा चीज़ के बारे में महाभारत में है। इसके बाद हम देखेंगे बुद्धिस्ट टेक्स्ट लाइक विनय पिटका, सुत पिटका, अभिधामा पिटका. These are three Buddhist literature, Buddhist texts, which are known as Tripitakas. त्रिपिटकास नाम किस लिए पड़ा? क्योंकि सिर्फ 3 ही था, बुद्धिस्ट टेक्स्ट 3 है, 3 का वजह से त्रिपिटकास नाम पड़ा. और द विनय पिटका डिस्क्राइब्स रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशंस फॉर द गाइडेंस ऑफ द बुद्धिस्ट monks and the general management of the church. The Sutta Pitaka is a collection of religious discourse of the Buddha. And the last one, that is Abhidhamma Pitaka, contains an exposition of the philosophical principles underlying the religion. Now let us see Jain religious texts. The original Jain religious texts are were called agams. After that, it was came to be known. After that, they were compiled into 14 purvas. And further, the first 10 Puranas were rearranged in 12 angas in the 5th century AD. Now only 11 angas are available. Besides, a vast literature was created by Jain scholars afterwards, which also provide us useful knowledge concerning history, culture, and civilization of ancient India. This is all about the Jain religious texts. Now let us secular literature. Let us see secular literature. Secular literature mainly includes writing of the foreigners, literary compositions, biographical works of great historical persons, and historical texts. Let us see about the Greek and Romans. Greek and Romans. Greek writers Strabo, Scylax, Justin, Herodotus, Curtius, Diodorus, Arrian. There are so many Greek and Roman historians who came to India from time to time and wrote so many things about India. Megasthenes, who wrote Indica, he lived in the court of Chandragupta Maurya as an ambassador of Seleucus. So during his lifetime, he wrote about the political system of Chandragupta Maurya, political administration, economic administration of Mauryas, that is Chandragupta Maurya. Likewise, many works were done by Kautilya. It is Arthashastra. Another very important source of that time. Kalhanas, Raja Tarangini, Mudrakshasa, Devi Chandraguptam, written by Visakhadatta, Malvikagni Mitram, which is all about Sunga dynasty, written by Kalidas, Sakuntala, again written by Kalidas, Ratnavali, Nagananda, Priyadarshika, written by Harshavardhana. In this way, many different types of secular literatures were written by foreign historians. Again, you can see Chinese also came to India, like Fahian, who came to India in 5th century at the time of Guptas, Huensang, who came in 7th century at the time of Harshavardhana, and some other contemporary kings of northern India. Itzing, that is, he came to India in 7th century. So many Muslim writers and travelers also came to India. They are Al-Biruni from Uzbekistan. He mainly came from Uzbekistan, wrote Kitab-ul-Hind, Tariq-e-Hind, who came in India in 1017 AD with Mahmud of Ghazni, interpreter and great scholar of Indian science, math, astronomy, Arabic and Sanskrit. He was influenced by Bhagavad Gita. According to his statements, according to Al-Biruni's statement, Indians are genius but arrogant because they do not share knowledge. Historians do not write in chronological order. This is all about the Al-Biruni's writings or Al-Biruni's works. Now let us see the archaeological sources. Before going to discuss the archaeological sources, let us see what is the difference between secular literature and religious literature. Religious literature are those literature which is mainly based on the religions, like Hindus or the Muslims or Sikh or whatever may be, or Buddhists, they have their own code of law. Hindus have their own code of law to rule their society, to run their administration. In the same way, Buddhist, Jainism. But what happened here? Secular literature. The word secular means, as you know, the word secular means there is religious tolerance. Secular means liking of all the religions, not a single, all type of religions, or you can say separation of religion, no connection with the religion. Secular literature have no connection with other religion. जैसे कि हम लोग बोलते हैं religious tolerance. India is a secular country. We are speaking about our constitution speaks India is a secular country. That means in India, any citizens can, all the citizens can adopt their religion as per their wish. There is no any limitation, there is no any boundary. This is all about the secular literature. And secular literature mainly deals or throws information on political history, which is mostly missing in religious texts. Secular literature, the works include drama, poetry, grammar, biographies, eulogies. Eulogies means कोई भी चीज़, कोई भी किसी का, कोई भी किंग हो उसका बायोग्राफी को बढ़ा चढ़ा कर लिखना, उसको बोलते हैं यूलॉजिस. Political economy and scientific works. These are all about secular literature. I think you have understand the difference between secular literature and the religious literature. Then let us see about the archaeological sources. The main archaeological sources are ancient ruins, remains and monuments recovered as a result of excavation and exploration are archaeological sources of history. Archaeology is mainly divided into three parts: epigraphy, numismatics, monuments. Now let us see what is the meaning of archaeology. Archaeology, logy means study. That means study of remains of past. When we are speaking about remains of past, then it may be any type of ruins, ancient ruins, remains and monuments, whatever may be. Now let us see what is the meaning of epigraphy. Epigraphy means study of inscriptions. Study of inscriptions. Now what is the inscriptions? See in this picture, epigraphy, or you can say inscription. Inscription, that is a type of writing which is engraved on the wall or on the building, on the temple, or or on the seals, or on the rocks, stones, slabs, walls of buildings, body of temples. As we are watching in the picture, how it is written, how pictures are drawn, these all are epigraphy. It is clearly seen from the picture that something is written on the wall and pictures are drawn or engraved on the wall. This is epigraphy. Let us take some examples. Ashokan inscription, which is written in Brahmi script. Writings is found in the Harappan seals, seen on rocks, pillars, stone slabs, walls of buildings, body of temples, etc. Hathi Gumpa inscription of Kharavela, the Allahabad pillar inscription of Samudragupta, and etc. From this epigraphy, we came to know about the political administrative system, the religious matters, and and many much more about the different kings or different dynasties or whatever may be. These are all about epigraphy. epigraphy का मतलब समझ में आ गया? epigraphy का मतलब है कोई भी चीज़, जैसे कि लिखावट हो या कोई चित्र बनाया गया हो, बनाया पेंटिंग जैसा नहीं, पेंटिंग किंतु नहीं है, ये एक तरह का पेंटिंग नहीं है। ये जिस तरह से ये वॉल में देखा गया है, ये पिक्चर जो दो, एक मर्द एक औरत है यहाँ पे, जिस तरह से ये ड्राइंग है, इसको हम लोग बोलते हैं एपिग्राफी। तो एपिग्राफी के बारे में सबको समझ आ गया है। अब हम डिस्कस करेंगे न्यूमिस्मेटिक। न्यूमिस्मेटिक का मतलब क्या होता है? व्हाट डू मीन बाय न्यूमिस्मेटिक? न्यूमिस्मेटिक मीन्स स्टडी ऑफ कॉइन्स। Study of coins is known as numismatics. At that time, coins were, during the ancient time, coins were made up of gold, silver, copper, or lead. Example, coins of Kushana in the Gupta period found figures of and इन द कॉइन्स, कॉइन्स के ऊपर में बहुत सारा फिगर दिखाई देता है। जैसे अभी हम लोग फिगर में देखेंगे, फिगर में जो दिया हुआ है, कहीं पर किंग का पिक्चर है, कहीं क्वीन का पिक्चर है, अलग अलग स्टाइल में, अलग अलग डिजाइन में। और ये जो इस पिक्चर से हम लोग ये देख सकते हैं कि कोई कॉइन्स ऐसा है जो गोल्ड से बना है, सिल्वर से बना है, कॉपर से बना है, लीड से बना है। तो देयर आर सो मेनी थिंग्स, so many rulers, we came to know about so many rulers from these coins. Different types of trees, gods, animals, socio-economic importance. This numismatics throws various types of light which has given us information about the different types of rulers, and different types of animals, gods, That's all. Now, during the time Harappa and Rig-Vedic age, no currency. There was only barter system, exchange of goods. हड़प्पा और ऋग्वेदिक सिविलाइजेशन में उस समय में किसी भी तरह का करेंसी व कॉइन्स के बारे में जानकारी नहीं मिला है। और उस समय में जो लोग थे उन लोगों ने क्या सिस्टम करते थे, उन लोगों का था मेनली बार्टर सिस्टम। बार्टर सिस्टम मीन्स व्हाट? एक्सचेंज ऑफ गुड्स, डबल कोइंसिडेंस ऑफ वंस। सपोज यदि किसी के पास में सब्जी है और किसी के पास में चावल है, तो जिसके पास चावल है उसको चाहिए सब्जी, तो चावल दूसरों को दे के जिसके पास सब्जी है उसके पास से सब्जी लाता था। ठीक उसी तरह एक्सचेंज करके अपना जीवन का जितने भी खाने पीने का सामान जो मिलता था वो एक्सचेंज करके ही उन लोगों ने आपस में अपना काम चलाया करते थे। इन लेटर वैदिक एज 1000 to 600 BC, निस्का गोल्ड कॉइन। उस समय में लेटर वैदिक सिविलाइजेशन बोलते हैं तो हम लोग सामवेद, यजुर्वेद, अथर्ववेद, ये तीनों वेद का जो है उसको हम लोग बोलते हैं लेटर वैदिक सिविलाइजेशन। उस सिविलाइजेशन में निस्का गोल्ड कॉइन के बारे में पता चला है। उसके बाद मारियन एम्पायर 4th सेंचुरी AD, 4th सेंचुरी BC, वो मारियन एम्पायर में punched marked coins called पाना और करसा पाना, एक कॉइन्स का नाम है। एक कॉइन्स उस समय में चलता था और ये जो कॉइन्स है ये सिल्वर और कॉपर का मिक्स करके बनाया गया था। तो दिस ऑल अबाउट द coins used the time of Mauryan Empire. Rupaya which was started by Sher Shah Suri in 1540. Then these are all about the numismatics. I hope you have understand and you have got the points. You have seen the pictures of numismatics. Now monuments. In case of monuments, just now I have told what is the meaning of monuments. Monuments means remains, buildings or weapons or art pieces or cities or pottery or whatever may be, stone or metals found and some historical monuments like temples, stupas, monasteries, forts, palaces. Similarly, tools, implements, weapons and pottery etc. The excavation at Mohenjo-daro and Harappa brought to the knowledge of the world the existence of the Indus Valley Civilization. जब इंडस वैली सिविलाइजेशन का खुदाई हुआ तो बहुत सारा साइट निकल के आया उसमें से, और अलग अलग एरिया के मुताबिक जहाँ से मोहनजोदड़ो, हड़प्पा ये सब जब खुदाई हुआ तो सारा दुनिया को मालूम चला कि इंडस वैली सिविलाइजेशन एग्जिस्ट करता था। सिंधु घाटी, सिंधु नदी के किनारे एक बहुत बड़ा सभ्यता था। तो ये सब हम लोग को कहाँ से मालूम चला है कि खुदाई से, excavation, through excavation. And likewise there are so many civilization, Egyptian civilization or Chinese civilization, मेसोपोटामिया civilizations हम लोग को मालूम चला था। These are all about the monuments, examples of monuments. Again, excavation have been conducted at Taxila, Patliputra, Rajgir, Nalanda, Sanchi, Barhat, Sarnath and Mathura. They are being done at many other places too. अलग अलग जगह से खुदाई से हम लोग को मालूम बहुत सारा चीज़, बहुत सारा मोनूमेंट्स, बिल्डिंग के बारे में पता चला. This all about the monuments. Monuments like see एक पिक्चर यहाँ पे आप लोगों के सामने इस स्क्रीन पर लगाया गया है. 1 नंबर पिक्चर में इंडस वैली सिविलाइजेशन साइट है. उस साइट के बारे में आप लोग देख सकते हैं कि उस समय का बिल्डिंग कैसा था, घर कैसा था. तो ये इंडस वैली सिविलाइजेशन 2500 to 3500 BC. और साइड में फिर राइट साइड में आप देख सकते हैं नालंदा स्तूपा, दैट इज ए बुद्धिस्ट university was there. Nalanda Stupa was built by Asoka, which is in Bihar. Then dear students, you have seen these monuments. Hope you have understand about the monuments. And there are different types of monuments, not only Indus Valley or Nalanda, Patliputra, Rajgir. There are various types of monuments you have seen or you have read in the books. There are so many types of monuments which are found in different places. You have heard about the megaliths. Some people in South India buried their dead with tools, weapons, potteries, etc. Such graves were encircled by a big piece of stone, and that is, such structures are called megaliths. Megaliths we have you will see mainly in South India. There are various types of megaliths were found after excavation. About the inscriptions, I have told. You have understand about the inscriptions. There are so many inscriptions, so many writings, Brahmi scripts, which was started by Asoka. Writings, scripts were writings. Till now, it is not deciphered. Till now, that are not deciphered, unable to read what is written on the wall. Till now it is not known. Though our historians, archaeologists are working very hard, they are working day and night, but still so many writings are there which are not known what is written. You have heard about the Junagadh rock inscriptions, Allahabad pillar, Aihole inscription, Gwalior inscriptions. Junagadh rock inscription, Rudra Daman is considered as an early example of chaste Sanskrit written in mid-2nd century AD. These are some inscription, Junagadh inscriptions, Allahabad pillar inscriptions. If you'll go and see, or if you read some books, you will see that it is all Allahabad pillar is all about the achievement of Samudragupta. It is mainly written that achievements of Allahabad pillar inscription में आप लोगों को समुद्रगुप्ता के बारे में ज़्यादा चीज़ मिलेगा। उसमें समुद्रगुप्ता का अचीवमेंट्स क्या है, क्या था, उस सब चीज़ उसके बारे में है। कॉइन्स के बारे में आप लोगों को पहले डिस्कस किया था। अलग अलग पंच मार्क कॉइन्स था पहले, चला था पहले। वो सबसे अर्लीस्ट कॉइन था। सबसे पहला जो कॉइन शुरू हुआ था वो पंच्ड मार्क कॉइन्स था। उसके बाद इंडो ग्रीक कॉइन्स शो ब्यूटीफुल आर्टिस्टिक फीचर ऑन देम which are mainly made up of silver and copper and rarely in gold. सिल्वर कॉपर ही ज़्यादा मिलता था, सिल्वर और कॉपर का, और गोल्ड बहुत कम। तो इंडो ग्रीक के बारे में हम लोग जान गए। उसी तरह कुशानस का समय में बहुत सारा कॉइन्स इशू हुआ, और वो कॉइन्स के बारे में भी आप लोगों को मैं बोला हूँ पहले। गुप्तास एक ऐसा समय था गुप्तास लोगों का, वो लोग दे इशूड लार्जेस्ट नंबर ऑफ गोल्ड कॉइन्स। Guptas appear to have succeeded Kushanas in the tradition of minting coins. They completely Indianized their coinage. Kings are depicted engaged in activities like hunting a lion or rhinoceros, holding a bow or battle axes, playing musical instruments, or performing Ashwamedh Yajna. These are Gupta's coins. So dear students, hope you have understand. Then that's all today's video. And if you have any problem, you can give me message on the WhatsApp. So once more I am telling, if you want many more videos, then please subscribe my channel and like it, share it, so that you will get more and more notification. That's all. Thank you.